Humans, welcome to Read to Me, Matt Dunn. I'm Matt Dunn, and I'm going to read to you. Frankenstein by Mary Shelley. We are on chapter 20. Chapter 20, if I could find the page, right? So, remember chapter 19 was like a rocky road, back and forth, slish slosh, zigzag. He's gonna do it. He's not gonna do it. He's like yelling at the creature, and the creature's gonna kill him. Ooh, worse. The creature's gonna probably do way worse. Now the problem is, though, Victor goes out on a boat, and he fucking just falls. This guy. I'm telling you, if you're not doing what Victor's doing, then I think you're doing pretty good in your life. Get it? Shows up in town, dead body. There's a dead body. And he's to blame. Clearly he's to blame because everyone's like, you're a villain. You're a villain. Villain. Chapter 20. Part 1. I was soon introduced into the presence of the magistrate, an old benevolent man with calm and mild manners. He looked upon me, however, with some degree of severity, and then, turning toward my conductors, he asked who appeared as witnesses on this occasion. About half a dozen men came forward, and one being selected by the magistrate, he disposed that he had been out fishing the night before with his son and brother-in-law, Daniel Nugent. When, about 10 o'clock, they observed a strong northerly blast rising, and they accordingly put in for port. It was very dark. It was a very dark night, as the moon had not yet risen, and they did not land at the harbor, but, as they had been accustomed, at a creek about 2 miles below. He walked on first, carrying a part of the fishing tackle, and his companions followed him at some what the fuck am I reading here? Yeah. Okay, so they're still observing, but, okay, so I guess they're still, whatever. They're still observing in descriptive text, okay. But no, not quoting. They're not saying these things. They observed. So they're saying he walked on first, carrying a part of the fishing tackle, and his companions followed him at some distance. As he was proceeding along the sands, he struck his foot against something, and this guy, I guess, whatever, and fell all his length on the ground. His companions came up to assist him, and by the light of their lantern, they found that he had fallen on the body of a man who was, to all appearance, dead. This is apparently the guy who, okay, so yeah. Their first suspicion was that it was the corpse of some poor person who had been drowned and was thrown on shore by the waves. But upon examination, they found that the clothes were not wet, and even that the body was not then cold. They instantly carried it to the cottage of an old woman near the spot, and endeavored, but in vain, to restore it to life. He appeared to be a handsome young man about 25 years of age. That means 25. For just if you don't know, back then they're like, you're about, 30 and 1? 1 and 30 years old? 1 and 30? I'll be like, you're spot on, buddy. Spot on. He appeared to be a handsome young man about 25 years of age. He had apparently been strangled, for there was no sign of any violence, except for the black marks of fingers on his neck. That's violence for you. That is violence for you. The first part of his deposition did not in the least interest me. But when the mark of the fingers was mentioned, I remembered the murderer of my brother and felt myself extremely agitated. My limbs trembled, and a mist came over my eyes. Because I was sad, which obliged me to lean on a chair for support. The magistrate observed me with a keen eye, and of course drew an unfavorable augury from my manner. Dude, I think magistrates are just judgmental. The son confirmed the father's account. But when Daniel Nugent was called, he swore positively that just before the fall of his companion, he saw a boat with a single man in it at a short distance from the shore, and as far as he could judge by the light of a few stars, it was the same boat in which I had just landed. Oh, so he stole the boat. I think Frankenstein stole a boat. Another woman confirmed the account of the fisherman having brought the body into her house. It was not cold. They put it into bed and rubbed it. Another woman confirmed the account of the fisherman having brought the body into her house. It was not cold. The body was not cold. They put it into a bed, the body, and rubbed it, the body. And Daniel went to town for an apothecary, but life was quite gone in the body. Several other men were examined concerning my landing, and they agreed that with the strong north wind that had arisen during the night, it was very probable that I had beaten about for many hours and had been obliged to return nearly to the same spot from which I had departed. Besides, they observed that it appeared that I had brought the body from another place, and it was likely that, as I did not appear to know the shore, I might have put into the harbor, ignorant of the distance of the town from the place where I had deposited the corpse. Whoa, my God. They're just making shit up. They're like, well, you weren't there, but it's because you're stupid. That's why you did it. Yeah. Facts. Fuck facts. We think you did it, and we know you did it, and we're going to put the stories together to make sure that we know you did it. Mr. Kerwin, on hearing this evidence, desired that I should be taken into the room where the body lay for interment, that it might be observed what effect the sight of it would produce upon me. This idea was probably suggested by his extreme agitation. I had exhibited when the mode of the what if he's like, oh, my friend, it's my friend. He's like, yeah? Well, why are you sad? 'Cause you did it? No, it's my friend, he's dead. You're crying 'cause you did it, and you know you're guilty. You fucks. That it might observe the sight of the idea was probably suggested by the extreme agitation I exhibited when the mode of the murder had been described. I was accordingly conducted by the magistrate and several other persons to the inn. I could not help being struck by the strange coincidence that had taken place during this eventful night, but knowing that I had been conversing with several persons in the island I had inhabited about the time that the body had been found, I was perfectly tranquil as to the consequences of the affair. Tranquil. I entered the room where the corpse lay, and I was led up to the coffin. How can I describe my sensations on beholding it? I feel yet parched with horror, nor can I reflect on that terrible moment without shuddering and agony. that faintly reminds me of the anguish of the recognition. The trial, the presence of the magistrate and witnesses passed like a dream from my memory when I saw the lifeless form of Henry Clerval stretched before me. He's just like, hey, I'm dead, but I'm really like stretching. I'm stretching it out. Ooh, actually, this feels really good. Woo, yeah, getting that stretch on. Goddamn, yo, you guys stretch, just put your arms up. Come on, just give it a stretch. Oh yeah, golly, that feels good. Just do it. Oh. Yeah, so Clerval's doing it and he's dead. What's your excuse? What is your excuse? Anyway, I gasped for breath and throwing myself on the body, I exclaimed, have my murderous machinations deprived you also, my dearest Henry, of life? 2. I have already destroyed. Other victims await their destiny. But you, Clerval, my friend, my benefactor. The human frame could no longer support the agonizing suffering that I endured, and I was carried out of the room in strong convulsions. Henry! A fever succeeded to this. A fever came right after. I lay for 2 months on the point of death. My ravings, as I afterward heard, were frightful. I called myself murderer of William, of Justine, and of Clerval. Sometimes I entreated my attendants to assist me in the destruction of the fiend by whom I was tormented. And at others I felt the fingers of the monster grasping my neck, and I screamed aloud with agony and terror. That's what he might sound like if he was in pure agony or terror. How do you know? Fortunately, as I spoke my native language, Mr. Kerwin alone understood me, but my gestures and bitter cries were sufficient to affright the other witnesses. Why did I not die? More miserable than man ever was before, why did I not sink into forgetfulness and rest? Death snatches away many blooming children, the only hopes of their doting parents. How many brides and youthful lovers have been one day in the bloom of health and hope, and the next day a prey for worms and the decay of the tomb. Of what materials was I made that I could thus resist so many shocks which, like the turning of the wheel, continually renewed the torture? Wow. What indeed? What material thus thou art made of? Ye being, ye little deserving being, you done this to yourself and you wish to die. Maybe you should look into that thing they call, rhymes with gluicide. Maybe you should gluicide your cracks. Like glue up your cracks. You're broken, buddy. You're a piece of shit. Anyway, who cares what I think? You think Victor wants to fucking be the bad guy? Maybe not. Do you think he thought he was being the bad guy? No. Does he know he's being the bad guy? I don't know. He's smart enough to figure out what he can and cannot do, but does he realize that he was the monster that did that? I mean, I guess he's blaming himself for all these deaths, but like seriously, I think Elizabeth is next. Get her. I'm hoping for it. I want her. Yeah, I want to see that monster. I want to see the creature. I keep wanting to call him monster. I know. I want to see the creature kill everybody in the story. Boom. Gone. Even I wanted to see the creature bring Henry back to life and kill him again. Like, be like, I brought your friend Henry back to life, and he's better than I am because I'm smarter than you already than you are. And then Frankenstein be like, "Ugh, what?" And then monster kills him again. That's just my book. I don't know if that's how it happens, because, you know, as we know, the book is definitely not like any of the movies. This is like, the book is like The Bourne Identity, but with Jason Bourne being the creature, right? That's right. It's a pretty good analogy. Jason Bourne. You create this ultimate killing machine, and what do? You try to get rid of it. You leave it alone. You literally create this thing, and then you leave it alone. You are, by definition, a dingus. Anyway, if you'd like for me to keep reading, please check out some more of my videos. Give me a thumbs up, like it, and subscribe. Hit that subscribe button. I don't know if this is a subscribe button or if it takes you to my channel and then you can subscribe. Let me know. You know, where else you can let me know is what's on your mind. How are you? That's right. Leave some comments. Bye. Have a good day. Enjoy your tomorrow, because it's usually always better than today, right? Right? Who knows? Was yesterday better than today? Can you say that, honestly? I don't know. I'll see you tomorrow. Keep it real.